Mississippi mud running in my veins. And on the road is where I found freedom. And hotel rooms is where I found peace. I spend my whole life running.
Yep. All right, everybody. So we've gotten a few questions about how we process our firewood and what we use, right? So we do have a smaller, just gas-powered splitter that's tow behind that we use for smaller trees or smaller loads to split. But when we're doing our big stuff, like as you can see over here, we've got 60 plus bags. We've got an order of 100 plus bags due here soon. We need a big piece of machinery to do that. So we have a Timberwolf Pro. This is a heck of a machine, right? Diesel engine, can hold I think up to a 16-foot log, up to 32 inches in diameter, multiple angles for the splitter. It's just a good piece of machinery to process a lot of firewood in a very short amount of time, to maximize your time and your efficiency when you're doing this. So we'll do a quick walkthrough. As you can see right here, the deck, it is manual, or excuse me, it is auto powered with a chain. Everything's done right there from the control center. It is chain driven. You just hit a button, and as you're feeding through, it'll fall down into the chute. We can load up to, depending on the diameter of the logs, 6 or 7. You know, obviously if you have a bunch of these smaller diameters, you know, we could probably do 10 or 12, but anything that's probably 16 inch or better, we can do 6 or 7 logs at a time, and just rolls on through. And once we get into the chute, we'll walk over here and I'll show you the control center. So with the control center, everything's all in one place. Your hydraulics for your live deck, for your wedge, for your winch, for your chains, for your saw, bar, everything is done right here, so it's all in one place. As we hit the lever for the live deck, it feeds the log into the chute. Then once we get to the chute, it's got a feed through lever. We'll hit the feed through lever. The chain that's actually in the chute is barbed, so it helps grab the bark. Feeds it through here. We have a clamp on the top here. Clamp it down, and once we get where we want it, we auto set it, so it just sets itself and continuously feeds the log through when we're done sawing. This right here is our 16-inch cutoff point. All the logs that we cut, whether it's for a business or for residential homeowners, is 16 inches. That's the standard split. Most folks have fireplaces that do 16 inches. The only time that we don't do 16 inches if it's specific, and they might say, hey, we'll do 20-inch or 24-inch splits because we have an outdoor fireplace or something like that. So once we cut it to the specifications, send it down here to the wedge, then we split. This wedge here has 6 different height variations it can go to, which is really neat because then it can cater to the size of logs that we're cutting, right? So we have different size splits for different size logs. That's really nice. Send it through the splitter, and then we get it onto our conveyor. Our conveyor sends it out to a big pile, and then we usually have somebody else over there on our smaller splitter, because that way, if we do have a piece that comes through here on a bigger diameter log that doesn't get split perfectly, they can split it on the back end, then it gets fed into a bag. So this is pretty much the control center here. You know, if we have to do any type of maintenance, everything on this machine's great, right? Timberwolf did a good job of making everything pretty easy to get to. A lot of it's hydraulic, so it's just quick fittings off and on with just a couple of wrenches, which is very nice. You know, as you get over here to the engine, I'll show you this. Pretty self-explanatory here. We always check our engine oil and our fluids when we start the machine up. Right here's your dipstick, hydraulic fill. Then you have your gas back here, your battery, everything's centrally located, so it makes it really easy to get to and work on. Our panel's laying over there, that way we just don't have to open and close it all the time. You know, this has been a great machine for us. We've processed countless logs with this thing, and plan to do so in the future. So if you guys are looking for our product, and look, we have no affiliation with Timberwolf. This is just something that we heard through some other people in the business that was a product that was trustworthy and they have great customer service. We actually had an issue not too long ago with a part breaking, and within 2 days we had an overnighted part. So thank you, Timberwolf. But check these guys out. I mean, it's just a one-of-a-kind piece of equipment, and it can really help you process a lot of firewood.
Well, I was born just west of the river, Mississippi mud running in my veins. And on the road is where I found freedom. And hotel rooms is where I found peace. I spend my whole life running. It's gonna be
very, very handy. That thing's cut from hickory, cherry, oak, I mean, you name it, it'll cut through it. It's all hydraulic as well. But the cool thing about it is when you need to work on this, much like similar to a regular chainsaw, it's super simple. It just has 2 nuts right here. Screw those off. All you're going to use is just take your small wrench and tighten down on the tensioner bar, and it's ready to go when you need to change out your chain on it or do any type of maintenance to the bar. So super handy and super easy to get to. Another thing that Timberwolf thought of when you're processing this type of amounts of wood, you know, everything has to work flawlessly, but if something were to happen, you need to be able to work on it quick to get it fixed, to get back in business, because time is money. So for Timberwolf to do that, super helpful, and we want to thank them for that, because that's a heck of a design. But that Oregon bar really does the trick.